What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. This is actually my first frontal wig install tutorial on my YouTube channel, and yes, let's get into it, y'all. So this is going to be a very detailed step-by-step on how to get your frontal flawless. This is my client Kimmy, and she is also part of our Neoco Luxe membership. So we are going to start off with a great braid down, nice small braids. Just make sure that it's flat, y'all. That's literally the key. Just make sure that it's flat. She just cut her hair, so she had a lot of new growth. So I just made sure that I got her braids as flat as possible, and I'm going to use my Erica J melting glue to push those edges back. It's so important. If you want your install to look seamless, you have to pay attention to details. And what I mean by that is you have to make sure that all of the hairs are pushed back. There's not a hair left out of place, because you will see it through your install. And then I'm just going to blow dry that down on warm. So again, this is a very important step. You want to make sure that all of your little hairs are all pushed back. And I know some clients do have low hairlines, but try to get as much of the hairs as possible, because again, it will seep through. And if you are somebody who does, or if you have a client who has a lower hairline, it's very important that you customize the wig as well, which is another video that I can do if you guys would like. You want to make sure that you are customizing each wig to every client's hairline, because every hairline is different. Another important step, please make sure that you guys are oiling your client's scalp. Whatever your choice of moisture is, whether it's grease, whether it's oil, make sure you guys are oiling scalps in between installs, under installs at all times. Now for my bald cap, make sure that you're cutting your ear flap more towards the bottom of your cap. If you cut it higher up, it's probably going to run, which mine did run a little bit, but it's not a lot to where you may have to do the whole thing over again. So make sure that you're just cutting your ear tabs more towards the bottom of your lace cap. Okay, so once that cap is on, I am going to go in with my E-bend, and I am going to mold that cap down. Also, guys, make sure you are using an HD cap. I cannot stress this enough, how much of a difference HD caps can make in your installs, especially when it comes to a seamless, no baby hair, no edges hairline. Make sure you guys are using HD caps. And then as far as makeup, please make sure that you guys are using a foundation color that is darker than your client's skin tone. The exact skin tone is going to cause the lace to have like a cast, like a white cast. You want to make sure that you're using a darker skin tone so it can look completely melted and seamless into her skin. And when it comes down to cutting your cap off, you want to make sure that you are following the curvature of your client's hairline. So do not cut straight across. Make sure you are literally following the outline of their natural hairline. That's very important to making sure that the wig looks natural. Here I'm just using some Got2b glue to go in and melt that bald cap again when I see it coming up. The reason why I don't use the E-bend for this part is E-bend is very sticky and very strong. You don't want to overpack the cap with glue, so just make sure you're using something lighter like a Got2b or a spritz. So I know a lot of people use different things like makeup or lace tint. I personally use the Ruby Kisses cream foundation. From my experience, the Ruby Kisses foundation just kind of goes on the best. I've tried lace tint and I don't like how it melts sometimes along with the install. Like, it's very like drippy. So I just prefer the makeup. And as you guys can see, I have a 200 density 26-inch 13x4 wig that we're going to be applying today. And this wig is from my raw hair collection. So make sure you guys are asking your clients to just open up that lace. You want to make sure that you are applying makeup all over the lace. All right, so now we're gonna just take that hot comb and we're gonna just simply push back all of those hairs. Also, this wig was pre-plucked, but I did go in and pluck a little bit on my own. I can do a separate video on specifically bleaching and plucking if you guys want me to, but just make sure that all of the hairs are pushed back, so when you push that wig on, it looks very seamless from start to finish. And as you guys can see, this wig was extremely full. One thing I've also noticed with a lot of installs, a lot of people do not take the time before they put the wig on to cut out the ear tabs. I'm not sure what happened with that, but guys, it's so important to cut your ear tabs out. That wig needs to sit on your head like it's your actual hairline. You do not want any indication of the wig being too big. It's also very easy to tell looking at an install if a wig is too big. So make sure you guys are going to measure out those ear tabs. So I'm simply placing the wig on her head and then I'm just cutting out a curvature of where her ear tab should start. So as you guys can see how that fits her head perfectly now. It doesn't seem as if it's too big or it's too small. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing for the other side, and it is okay to have your clients use their hands, y'all, for the installs. There's no way, honestly, to get a really flat install without getting some help for your client. So make sure if you need to, your client pulls the lace down or she holds anything down for you. So as you guys can see, now I'm just kind of zooming in so you guys can see exactly what I mean by having that wig cut out so it can fit exactly on her head. There's no extra lace anywhere where it wouldn't be past her natural hairline, y'all. Okay, so let's get into the lace glue, y'all. As you guys can see, I am using Erica J's Hold Me Down. Now, y'all, I have been doing wigs for quite some while now, and I have used a lot of different glues. And honestly, dare I say, most of them do work the same. But I'm not going to lie, Erica J has me in a chokehold. The reason why I like to use Erica J is because I have a lot of clients, including myself, who have naturally oily skin. And what I've noticed between Erica J and the other installs that I have done without using Erica J's products, I do not feel like they last as long. And I also feel like you have to use too many layers. I personally only use about 3 to 4 layers with my Erica J, and that's also based on my client's lifestyle. You have some clients who are going to be working out every day. You have some clients who are going to be sitting in the house all day. You definitely need to ask your clients questions like, what is your lifestyle? Are you sweating a lot in your head? These are questions that will help you determine what glue you may need to use, as well as how many layers. For this client, I use about 3 to 4 layers of glue. I felt like that was way more than enough. And I know you guys see me using my hands. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I've tried the popsicle sticks. I've tried the end of the rat tail comb. I am just not a fan. I'm not a fan of either one of those. I feel like both of them, and again, when you're applying a wig, especially, you know, in the beginning stages, you do what's best for you. So if you're somebody who does not want your hands sticky, or for some reason you don't want to just use your fingertip, definitely try to use the popsicle stick, or the comb. But for me personally, I find that when I do use the popsicle stick, it gets super duper sticky, and it can sometimes like stick to the lace, or stick to the cap, and I just don't like that. So again, I just use my finger. I found that was what's best for me, and I don't mind just my index finger just getting a little sticky. Okay, y'all, so you want to make sure that you let that glue get white. Now, when I say get it white, you don't want it to be 100% clear. You want it to have like a little cast. That's kind of the best way that I can explain it. Again, after you've done so many installs, you can kind of gauge with your eye when it's time to put the wig down. But I do go in with my blow dryer on cool to kind of just help speed up that process. So what I'm doing now is, you guys should do this before, like right after you put your wig on, but you want to cut out tabs. This helps you lay your wig section by section, and it's just a lot easier, a lot less messier. And make sure you guys are using your client's hands to make sure that they are able to hold that wig down. We need the hands for a flawless install. I'm just going in and I'm making sure that wig is sitting at her hairline. You want it to be right on where the cap is, or even just a tad bit higher. You do not want to risk your cap poking out from your lace. And I have done installs and I have been able to see the cap, baby, and it looks a mess. You want to make sure that looks seamless. So please take your time, and until you are fully confident with where the lace is, try not to take the comb and melt it into it like that, because that is going to stick it. So I try to wait until I'm fully satisfied with where the placement of the wig is, until I go in and get all those hairs out the way and push her wig back. And what I'm doing by that is simply just pushing that lace into her scalp and melting it down completely. Okay, y'all, so this next step is very important. Remember, most of these wigs do come with clips in the back. I do not do my clips until after the wig is laid down. It helps with the snugness of the wig, and also I feel like it just kind of helps give more of a flawless effect when you do it after instead of doing it before. And again, y'all, ask your clients questions. Ask your clients if the wig feels snug enough. Is it fitting her right? You do not want to maneuver through your appointment without asking any questions. And then in the end, you have to go back and fix so many things because your client is unsatisfied. What I'm doing now is I'm just taking my blow dryer. Again, I'm using Cool. I'm going in and I'm simply just blow drying my comb into that lace for a flawless and a seamless melt, y'all. I love a good melt. There's nothing like a good wig, especially when it's done correctly. But that step is very, very important. So please do not forget that blow dryer and that comb, baby. Go back in and lay those hairs down. Readjust your wig if you need to. Tell your clients to readjust their hands, or do what it is you need to do to make sure before you do the final step of melting that wig down, that wig already looks in place. Another key to a great install is, again, after each step, it should look like the wig is still like flawless. Like, it should never look crazy to where at the end you're having to go in and do so many fix up. It should all look seamless, literally step by step. Now, this next part is very, very important. When I first started doing wigs as well, we all know that we were using the melt bands. I do not use the melt bands any longer, guys. I use my black strips. I have found that black strips not only melt better, but melt strips take up the oil and the debris from the wig after the melt. Whereas sometimes the melt band, it will either stay on it or it'll be like a sticky effect to where the same oil and debris are stuck onto the lace instead of coming up with the lace, coming up with the melt after you guys lay the wig down. So I prefer the black strips. And honestly, if the black strips is not enough for you, if you feel like it's not heavy duty enough, go in and put the band on top. So that's what I'm doing now. And then, of course, make sure you pin her hair up just so it might be a little bit easier for you guys to apply those strips. And I'm going to go in now and just kind of fold my strip up just to make sure that it's actually on her head. You know, sometimes doing this, it slides down. That's one thing to know about the strips, because they're a little bit more like, of course, like soft and silky than the band. So, of course, now we're going to go in with some heat protectant. I went ahead and I blew dry her hair out. This wig was so thick, y'all. But I was happy that she came and got a bust down, because I do not have a lot of clients that come and get bust downs at all. All right, next step, y'all. Get that wax stick, y'all. This part is how your wig is going to lay flat. Get that wax stick. Go ahead and part out, whether you're doing a side part or a middle part. You're going to go ahead and part, and then you are going to take section by section, y'all. This part is very, very important. You do not want to take big sections for this, or you will be able to tell. So take that wax stick. Now, the wax stick that I use is not very oily, so I can use quite a bit, but I don't use that much. And then you're going to go in with your olive oil spritz in the green bottle. Take that hot comb, and I'm going to just hot comb that down. This is exactly how you will be able to get your wig nice and flat. Okay. As you guys can see, y'all, it's nice nice and flat, y'all. She was really feeling herself and I loved it. My girl just had a baby, but it's giving baby wear. Like, love my girls down. But y'all, as y'all can see, now of course, y'all, the part is crooked. We're gonna fix it at the end. You do the part at the last minute, but as you guys can see, that wig is nice and flat, y'all. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a razor and I am going to just cut that lace off. If you use this kind of razor, just make sure you are being careful and make sure that you are following the curvature of her hairline as well. As you guys can see, I did not cut straight across. I literally copied her natural hairline. I copied the cap. So go in, apply a little bit more makeup. But as you guys can see, like I said, after each step, it should continue to look flawless. One step should not take your wig from a great wig to a horrible install. Like, after every step, it should always look seamless, as if she can almost walk out the chair looking just like this. As you guys can see, like, baby, that is melted. So now we're gonna get into melting that lace, and I am using my bed head spray. And y'all, I have used a lot of different lace sprays, but I have to say, this is honestly one of my favorites, and I'm so glad that I came across this brand. Like, baby, this is like no residue. It's extremely seamless. It's not too sticky. It's not too harsh. Like, 10 out of 10, love the bed head spray. So I'm gonna just use that and spray on my fingertips. I don't normally like to spray anything straight onto the lace. I feel like it's a little messy, and I just kind of feel like you have a little bit more control when you spray it on your fingertip. Now, when it comes to like the sides, there's times where I will just go in and spray it, but I try to be very cautious of that, because you do not want to spray too much to where there's so much residue or so much sticky things going on when you take that band off. And when it comes to a lace, baby, one thing I don't play about is my spritz, y'all. Like, you gotta have the spritz. If you know, you know. Spritz is so crucial to a great install. I'm so happy that I run across this method, y'all, but make sure you want to use spritz. So even if bedhead is not your spray of choice, maybe you use Eben or Got To Be, I highly suggest you guys to add some spritz for your final meltdown. So I'll go ahead and I use my spritz. I'm gonna do the same thing, put it on my fingertip. I don't typically blow dry my lace down, but there was one little part at the front that I really felt like I needed to blow dry just a little bit before I melted her down. And again, the more you do lace, the more you find different little things, little knickknacks that you use or do to just help with the overall flawlessness of your install. So go ahead and, like I said, no band. We're gonna use the black strips. I'm gonna put that on her, and I'm gonna make sure that that is fully melted down. Not sure what happened to the rest of that part of the video, but I did go ahead and I flat iron her hair, y'all. That hair, baby, one thing about my raw hair, don't play with it, baby. As you guys can see, baby, nice and silky as ever, super duper full. And yes, this is how she looked after I took her bands off, y'all. So again, this is what I mean by step, it should be flawless. I just took her band off, haven't done anything extra besides flat ironing her hair, and she looks great already, y'all. I love a super duper flat and a super natural looking install. So yes, what I'm gonna do next is I did take my Ruby Kisses in the color 9. This is for her part, y'all. This is going to make or break your install. I literally cannot stress enough just how much your part will make or break your wig. It's also important to use a very flat brush. I'm going in and I'm taking a little bit of that foundation and I'm putting it on my brush and I'm applying it to her part. Now, I did have to do a lot of these steps for her part off camera because I could not get the angle right with the camera and I felt like I was making her part crooked. So if you have to stop recording, if you do record or whatever you need to do, make sure that you get the client to look at the part from her perspective as well as you look at the part from an outside perspective, because when it comes to angles in the mirror, it can look very, very much differently. My next step is I'm going to go in with my color corrector and I'm going to just apply that to her roots. I don't use black spray. I find that black spray is a little harsh. After that's done, it's time for finishing touches and I'm going to apply some of my oil sheen just to give her a nice fresh finish, y'all. And voila, like as you guys can see, this was very seamless, y'all. very much flat, very much giving the girls what it needs to give. I really hope this video was helpful to you guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Make sure you follow my Instagram and my business page at the Nia Code.